It's just ahead on the morning news, looking for a good bed and breakfast. Well, our guest has some tips. Well, are you looking for a quaint little place to spend the night and get a good breakfast? Our guest is the author of the 10th anniversary edition of the Complete Guide to Bed and Breakfasts, Inns and Guest Houses, a Lanier Guide. Pamela Lanier joins us now with tips on what to look for in a bed and breakfast. Hello, Pamela. Welcome.
Good morning, Donna. Thank you.
Give us an idea how you would compare a bed and breakfast with another hotel or an inn.
Well, I think that most people go to bed and breakfast for a little more intimate experience. A chance to visit a place that they might never have an opportunity to see, such as a restored mansion, and perhaps also to meet their fellow bed and breakfast aficionados, many of whom share similar interests.
Okay, well now how do you find if you're going to run into somebody who might share some interests, though? Can you find bed and breakfasts that kind of cater to certain things?
Yes, you can. In the back of our guidebook, we have a list of 20 different specialties, such as inns that are near great fishing grounds or perhaps golf courses, or very popular gardens and gourmet dining, that kind of thing.
I think it's interesting when you mention the historical, too. There are some wonderful places, aren't there, that are very historical that you can really get a close-up look at.
That's very important. Actually, 50% of the inns are on the historic register, and it's very important also to this country, I believe, that innkeeping has allowed a number of these old buildings to be renovated and made an affordable possibility.
Okay. How affordable is a bed and breakfast? I suppose you can probably get just a whole range.
Yes, there's a wide range of prices, but for example, in the South, in perhaps Hot Springs, Arkansas, let's use that as an example, an average across-the-board price might be $60 per night. And going up to Boston, Massachusetts for an urban inn, $90 a night. And in the Napa Valley, California, $120 per night. Those are just real broad
and probably average, too, for how many people can stay at a bed and breakfast. Are they real different? It always seems to me that they seem very small and they keep it on a small scale.
Well, that's the idea. There's really 3 different kinds of bed and breakfast. Homestays, which tend to be really small, just a spare room in someone's house, more like the European model. A classic inn, which we consider to be 5 to 9 rooms typically. Often those are in the historic buildings. And a country inn, which might have a full-scale restaurant as well as the lodging facilities.
You know, I think a lot of people would think, do you have your own bathroom if you go to a bed and breakfast?
Everybody asks that. Actually, these days, 90% of all rooms have private baths. That has become the standard of the industry in the past few years. So you can rest assured, if you'd like your own bathroom, you will have it.
Okay, so you find someplace that you want to go. How do you find a real good bed and breakfast? We can check certainly with the guide. I know you'll
our
say,
guidebook. Well, let's see. Word of mouth is always good. Ask your friends. Also, most of the states offer a free brochure on bed and breakfast, and you can send off for that from the state's departments of tourism.
Has it gotten more crowded? Do you need to make a reservation?
For the weekends, yes, I would say you do. For the rest of the week, maybe not. I think a lot of people just go touring and take the book with them and visit, and even on the weekends they can get lucky and find a room.
What if somebody thinks, gee, it'd be a great idea to own one of these? I'd like to be serving up the breakfast. And do you get breakfast at all of these anyway?
Yes, breakfast is pretty standard, as well as afternoon tea or social hour where you can sit around and talk with your fellow guests and talk about the evening's events, maybe discuss restaurants, that kind of thing.
What if somebody wants to own one? What are the chances of that, and how would they go about finding out if they really are cut out for it, you know?
Well, we always suggest that people visit a seminar and take a seminar about innkeeping. It's a very popular dream. Since we started the first edition, there were 1,200 inns in that one. 10 years later, there's 9,000, so a lot of people have realized the dream of becoming an innkeeper. I just think they need to really realize it's a very hard work. It's a big job, but if you love people and you love meeting people and offering them your own special brand of hospitality, it can really be very rewarding.
Travel writer and author Pamela Lanier, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.